All right, ladies and gentlemen. So today we are excited to introduce Mompreneur Mondays. And our guest today is going to be the inspired Heather Paris. She's going to share with you some really great tips, tools, tactics, strategies for all the mompreneurs out there. What got her into the business and what does she do and how does she help? She's a good resource. She's a good person to get in touch with and just kind of make friends with. She's definitely somebody you'd want to have in your brain trust or in your board of directors, your higher level echelon of people that you kind of have in your brain trust. And this week only, she's coming down to the wire of a special training that she has available. So you can check out more about that in the video, and we'll see you when we see you. Oh, hey, I have somebody joining me.
Hi.
Hey, there you go. I can hear you even.
Yay. That's a good thing.
Yep. How loud am I coming across? Am I coming across well?
Yeah, perfect.
Oh, fantastic. Hey, you got the same kind of headphones that I do.
Yep. The good kind.
I don't know if they're good, but whatever, they work.
Yeah, exactly.
So first off, how you doing? Glad you could make it.
Good. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's so kind of you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. So today I am joined by the inspired Heather Paris, who is going to tell us a little bit about her journey to being a mompreneur and what she's got going on. She has some projects going on that she'd like to share with all of you as well. So we want to get to that here just momentarily. So let's make it really easy. We'll start with just give us a brief introduction of yourself, the work you do, and who you serve.
Sure. My name is Heather Paris. I am an inspired life coach and a best-selling author, and I also run a coach training school. So right now I am training other people to join me on my mission. My mission is to increase emotional intelligence and resiliency, personal growth and development throughout the world, to raise the collective consciousness, to help people, and especially children, to just really navigate life a lot better. Mm-hmm. So my mission has been great, but I realize that if I train other people to do what I do, then we can have a huge, huge impact. Mm-hmm. So now my newest project is running this coach training school, which I'm really, really excited about. But I am a mom. I have 6+ kids.
Wow.
I have 3 biological, I have 3 stepkids, and then I have 4 kids that I've taken into my home that my husband and I have taken into our home. We're not official foster parents. We're vigilante foster parents. So if there's a kid in need and homeless, and, a couple of times we pick them up literally like sleeping in the streets and giving them a home and a heart. So that's where the 6+ kids comes in.
Right. You've got 6+ some extra, some bench strength, as they would say.
Right. Bonus kids. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And then, so given you've got a large volume of people in your house, plus mm-hmm. several different opportunities in terms of business, how do you get all of that to balance? And where do you find time for an intimate relationship with your husband, sure. quality relationships with the kids, and manage relationships with clients and all that sort of stuff? So, how do you make that happen?
Yeah. So first of all, I don't believe in balance at all. Nothing is balanced. Yeah. If I try to balance everything, I'm going to constantly fail. And I think that's one of the biggest things that people have a hard time with, is that they're trying to balance everything. We can't. And frankly, you shouldn't. I mean, my kids are not balanced with my career. My kids are more important. My family is more important. My husband is more important. So I don't balance anything. I just prioritize.
Okay.
So I have a thing, and I teach my clients too. It's called me, we, us. And so it's always me first, mm-hmm. we second, and us last. And now some people are going to be like, that sounds really selfish. It's absolutely not. And I'm not talking about prioritizing my kids' safety, myself over their safety or anything like that first. I'm talking about spending some time each day focused on myself, my health, and my wellness. If I don't meditate and exercise personally for me, I cannot deal with the rest of my day. Mm-hmm, and so I really, really need to prioritize myself and my health. And my husband totally, totally appreciates that and loves that about me, that I'm willing to take care of myself. It's not his job. It's not anyone else's job. So that's where the me is first. And then we is my husband and I, because without us, we don't have a foundation or a family for our children. We don't have a place to bring the 4 extra kids into. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So my rule of thumb is 1 hour a day, 1 day a week, 1 weekend a month. So every single day we connect for at least an hour. Now, Thad and I happen to both work at home. We're both coaches, so we have the luxury of spending more than that together.
Right.
And it doesn't have to be physical time either. Like a lot of people are truck drivers or work far away or whatever. So they spend their time just like we are right now on the phone. It's just an hour of quality time with your spouse or partner every single day. And then one day a week. It doesn't have to be a night, it could be a day, a few hours during the morning, whatever, but spend some time on a date day or a date night with your partner once a week. And then at least once a month, do a weekend together. Now, that doesn't mean you have to go away and spend $1 million or go to a hotel or anything like that. It could just be like on Saturday, we're going to take a hike and Sunday we'll go out to dinner, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But prioritize your time together. So 1 hour a day, 1 day a week, and 1 weekend a month. And then the third of the me, we, us is us. And that's our family. And we obviously prioritize family, kids, and doing lots of things. We have a family mission statement where, you know,
Good.
we practice supporting the entire family as a whole, but individual needs are addressed as well. So again, for me, it's all about prioritizing and not really balancing. And then my career. And I do have time, you know, I have time to do it all. And I manage, and it's not always easy. It's sometimes very difficult. But you know, I just do it. What else am I going to do? Right. That's what we do.
Right. Yeah. And it's kind of that idea of the, we've all seen the video of like the rocks, and there's the rocks and the sand and the gravel and the cup of coffee or the two beers, depending on the story. But it's like, I think sometimes feminine energy needs that message that, no, you need to be a priority in your life and in your equation, because if you're not, how do you give what you don't have? And if you're not recharged, how can you recharge anybody else? And that's exactly a hard thing, because a lot of feminine define themselves in their relationships. And, you know, it's great, the new Disney movies are pushing strong female identities, but if you push on a real feminine woman, who are you? A lot of it is relationship, and I'm this, and I'm in connection with all of these things, versus this is this one thing that I am. That's a much more of a masculine energy in my experience. And so it's important, ladies, take the time. It's not being selfish, you know, an hour to do some things for yourself to make you feel important to you, because you need to set that role model for your children too.
That's right. And not only that, but like my husband, Thad, finds it very sexy that I take care of myself, you know, that I'm working out, that I'm getting healthy. And I haven't always done that. I really haven't. I have prioritized everyone and everything else over myself. But I'm back on track personally, you know, and in fact, I just lost 29 pounds.
I just saw that. Congratulations.
Thank you. So, and that is again, because, you know, we have a special needs child. So I often, you know, we always have something going on. Do you know what I mean? There's never a down moment where it's like, oh, we just have a whole day to do nothing. Never. We never have that.
Right.
We always have something going on. Somebody always has a need. And so if I don't make time to prioritize myself, and my husband does the same thing, and I step in when he needs that time, you know?
Exactly.
But if we don't do that for ourselves, I can't love him any better. You know what I mean? I can only love him if I'm really caring for myself. And so I have found in my life anyway, that makes all the difference. And then all of the women I don't specifically coach women, but I do coach a lot of women. And when they really realize that and make that transition, their world just changes. Everything changes. You cannot pour from an empty cup. There's nothing there.
Yeah, I'm actually going to do in our parenting program on the YouTube channel, I'm going to do a section for Mother's Day on what's called Love and Aid. And when the Love and Aid runs out, then there's all kinds of predictable problems that show up. And there's tick marks I see in dynamics and relationship in a family, and especially in the mom. There's certain things, if I see those things happening, or if Autumn sees those things happening, we know she's depleted, and we can already begin to predict the pattern of behavior in the relationship with her husband or her significant other, the relationship with her children, herself. And it doesn't
you're
have to,
100%.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be that way. There's ways to interrupt those patterns and put in more powerful strategies. So kudos to you for that.
Thanks.
That's a great tip. I like the me, we, us. That's something Autumn and I are also kind of on the same page. I don't think we language it quite the same way, but definitely the same concept. So how did you get into coaching parents and women and men? And, you know, how did you get into this work, the space where you work to give advice to people on how to make improvements.
Yeah. So it was kind of a natural progression. So I actually started out in the industry as a fitness coach a million years ago. I've been in the industry now for over 10 years, at least 12 years. And I started out in fitness coaching, which I love, but I was doing the mindset. And then I had a business partner who was doing the physical. She was a weightlifter, professional bodybuilder and weightlifter. And so she would do the physical and then I would help people with their mindset. And it was a lot of fun. But when you have kids, you automatically have lots of other kids. You know what I mean? So
Right.
and I was a single mom at the time, working 3 jobs, by the way, but single mom, 3 jobs, 3 kids, my biological kids, and working as a fitness coach on the side. So like I said, when you have 3 kids, especially as they're becoming teenagers, you have lots of other kids that are coming over and kids asking my kids for advice and me for advice. And then other moms saying, how do you do it all? You're a single mother with 3 kids in a house and 3 jobs. How do you do it all? And I realized that there's a huge need for empowerment out there because people live in chronic victimhood.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that that sounds harsh, but it's true. I see it every single solitary day. People believe the BS that they can't do it. And so, and here I was, somebody doing it. And I'm like, I really, truly didn't understand. I'm like, what else am I supposed to do? Like, I have to do this. I have to work. I have to take care of my family. I have to take care of everything. So I couldn't even comprehend what else was there to do. Right.
Right.
So, so I realized that there was a lot of people out there that could use that inspiration to realize that you can do it. So I started into coaching and fitness coaching and all that. And it just kind of transitioned into helping other women, single moms. I had opened up a company called the Wednesday Society, which is now I closed down and transitioned into what I do now. But we specifically worked with women. We were helping women. I had 4 franchises in 4 different states. We had women like helping other women in shelters, giving women jobs, all these amazing things. And that was great. But then I wanted to kind of grow the business. And so I transitioned into Live Inspired Now, which was all encompassing.
Mm-hmm.
So my niche specifically is I work with families, kids in crisis, and couples, that are on the brink of breakup. But I do all sorts of coaching. But it just kind of was a natural transition for me, I think, because that's what I was doing. So that's what I knew. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense. It's sort of an organic growth. And it's in the vein or in the skill sets you kind of already possessed.
Right. And then I continued my training. I believe heavily in continuing training, myself included. I have my own coach. I have training programs that I still go through. You know what I mean? I'm going to another one in August. I always grow and continue to learn new things. Mm-hmm. And I encourage all of my coaches to do the same thing.
Right. But you didn't go like, let me do my market research and then let me do all the typical business school advice. No. It was a much more, this is kind of where the universe is calling me.
That's right. And I'm a jump in the pool quick kind of person, not a dip your toe in and, I'm just jump in and learn to swim. And right. That's basically what I did. And so, I tell people, especially the new coaches, it takes 5 to 10 years to be an overnight success. Right. So, people will come to me now and say, oh, it's so easy for you. Well, no, it's not. And no, it hasn't been. I've been doing this consistently, like literally every single day of my life for 10 plus years. Mm-hmm. So, you're noticing now, but where were you 8 years ago? It's not easy, but it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it.
Absolutely. And I think my next question, I already have an idea of how you're going to answer it, but how do you deal with the quote unquote female brain, AKA diffuse awareness, to borrow somebody else's words, or the sense of 10 million things to do all at the same time?
Priorities.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Prioritize.
Yeah. Let me give you a great example. I have a beautiful home. I love my home. We're very blessed. My husband and I bought our dream home about 4 years ago. We live on the water. It's spectacular. Is a fixer-upper. We're doing all the work ourselves. So people walk in now and they think, whoa, you have this glorious, amazing home. And it is, but we worked at it. You know what I mean? We bought it. It was a junk hole and we've done all the work ourselves. We worked very, very hard. So I have this great house, but you know what? If you come into my house at any time, day or night, doesn't matter what's happening, my floors are dirty. I fully admit that. My floors are dirty. I don't have time to do the floors, and I let that go. So I was the type of person, like if somebody's coming over to my house, if the mailman was going to knock on my door, I'd be scrubbing the house, cleaning the floors, like everything's got to be perfect. No, I can't do everything I want to do and worry about those things too. So I give up on the floors. Once in a while there's dirty dishes in the sink. If people come over, I don't care. If people are coming over to see my house or to see the cleanliness, they probably don't really actually care about me. So
they're coming over for the wrong reasons.
Right. So I just prioritize things. I mean, my house is generally clean. It's clean enough, and that's how I pretty much live my life. I can't do everything, so I do the best I can.
So when you go for prioritization, do you try to keep a list inside your head? Do you write it down? Do you put it on a
I
data
write.
planner?
I have lists everywhere. I literally keep so many sticky notes, and I took it off my desk for this, just in case you could see clutter, but I keep a to-do list every single day. Every single morning I sit down here at my desk and I look at my list. I cross off the things that, don't need to be done or I finished yesterday or whatever. And then I make a list of my priorities for the day. And then I get down what I can get done. And what I can't get done goes on the list again for tomorrow. And that's it. And I don't beat myself up about that anymore.
That's what I was about to ask us. How much energy do you invest in what got done versus what didn't get done?
Yeah, I always focus. This is why people sometimes don't understand. They think, oh, your life, and I hear this, I'm sure you do too. Oh, your life is so easy and so perfect. No, it's not. I focus on what I can do, and I focus on what's positive, and I focus on what I can give to the world, not on what I can't. Because I could sit here, and there was a post I upset some people today on Facebook. I posted about how I was sick and tired of hearing about people who don't have time. I don't know if you saw it, but
yeah, I saw it.
Yeah. And some people were, you don't understand. I don't have time. I have this, I have that. And you know what? I'm so compassionate. I get that because I am that, but that's not what I focus on. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
I have a lot of kids. I have one that has special needs. I have a career. I have 30 coaches under me that are looking up to me to be as, a leader and to teach them. I have this program where I'm constantly developing content. I have a lot of stuff on my plate, but I prioritize what's important, and I never, ever compromise my relationships. Never. That's how I keep my relationships healthy. I'm not going to compromise my relationship for busy. Never.
Right. Go for quality over quantity.
Yeah. I mean, I'd rather wear dirty clothes because I didn't do the laundry in the week than miss an opportunity to spend time with somebody that I care about. My husband, last weekend, my husband said, let's go take a kayak ride because we live on the water. And I was like, oh, I don't know. He's like, let's go take a kayak ride. I was like, okay. Like he knew I needed it,
Right.
And I, of course I didn't have time, but I made time and it was the best possible thing I could have done because I felt so refreshed after and so amazing. And that is exactly what I needed at that time.
Yeah. That's the sharpen the saw. There's a Chinese saying, which is an inch of silver, because that was the money back in China, was silver more than gold, but an inch of silver won't buy an inch of time. And so, what's the bigger value? You can sacrifice on the short side, make some money, but lose $10 million, you can make $10 million. Lose 10 years, you can never get those 10 years back, no matter how much.
That's exactly right.
So it's like you said, the prioritization.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I wish people would learn this before trauma makes them learn it or before loss makes them learn it. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. We teach time management in my martial arts school because as the kids, most of our students are AB average and they want to do more stuff. Our biggest challenge is about 2 years into our program, more confidence, more discipline, more capability, bigger ambition, bigger vision.
Right.
I want to do a lot of stuff. And now it's like, oh, well, they're not in martial arts as much because they're doing Destination Imagination. They're doing, Quiz Bowl. They're doing all these different things. And it's like, okay, guys, that's great. But what's going to teach you how to prioritize? How are you going to manage all your time? Rich or poor, you got 168 hours in your week. How are you leveraging your time? What can you get done? When, where, how are you blocking it? So we added that into our program to teach the higher level kids how to be productive so that I was in the corporate world and they had Franklin Covey come in. We did a 2-day training. It was awesome. We got the $400 planner, like this thick, like that thick. And 2 days later, nobody's using it because we went from white belt accountability, meaning none. Here's the perfect system for time management. And now we expect after 2 days of training, black belt excellence, and no time to learn to integrate that or develop that. So yeah, it became a paperweight, not because the technology was bad, but because the human factors were the problem.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, the human factor. And when you focus on relationships and like understanding people and things like that, in my life, we've all suffered loss, but both of my best friends who were best friends for over 30 years since high school passed away. When you see your best friend lying in a hospital dying from cancer, you go, oh, wait, maybe some stuff really doesn't matter.
Right.
And that's why when I say, like, I hope tragedy isn't the catalyst for change, I really, really hope people will get this before they have to lose somebody to realize how important and how short life is, So for me, it's about priorities.
Absolutely. I completely agree on that. All right. So what would be your top number one suggestion other than prioritization? Because I think we beat that one in. So what would be your number two top suggestion for mompreneurs if they're looking to get into work and balancing and adjusting and managing and all that fun stuff?
I would say to continue investing in yourself, because a lot of times people get to a certain point and they think, oh, well, I got this now. No, continue to grow, because the more you grow, the more your business will grow. Because even when you think you know everything you can know about something, somebody else comes along and teaches you something new. Mm-hmm. So I mean, a couple of years ago, I wanted to enter an online business course. And I said, oh, I'll just wait. It's kind of pricey. Let me wait. And enrollment was only once a year. And, I didn't enroll. I spent that entire year regretting it. I watched all my friends who took it and colleagues who took that course, like doing great things. And I was like, that was the dumbest thing ever. Now I got to wait a year. So when the next year came along, I enrolled, and seriously, that business course, like I kept hemming and hawing. I'm like, am I really going to learn what I need to know? Is it really going to be everything? The next year I enrolled, and within like a month, 2 months of taking that course, my business skyrocketed beyond what I even imagined. And I was like, well, that was stupid to wait. So always invest in yourself, whether it's a financial investment or just the investment of time. I read like 10 to 12 books a month, seriously. And I don't sit and read them because I don't make time for that, but I do on my phone, Audible, audiobooks all the time. So whatever I need to know more about right now, I'm on this business kick. So I'm reading all the business books. For a while, I do personal growth and development, then, self-help, whatever. But I mean, I just read constantly. If I'm in the car, there's an audiobook on.
Yep. There's I think it was Chet Holmes. He said that especially with Audible, you can increase the play speed. So you can train yourself. You can actually listen somewhere around 500 words a minute. Mm-hmm. And it gets into your unconscious mind. So you're not fully aware of what you're learning, but there's just things that are getting inside you.
That's right.
That's a strategy. Yeah, is double the speed at least. So you're hearing it twice as fast. You get in twice as much stuff.
Yep. I like that.
All right. So
too.
Personal, what is your favorite dessert?
Ben and Jerry's, what's it called? It's dairy-free Ben and Jerry's 7-layer. I think it's coconut 7-layer. I don't know. I've never actually taken the time to read the.
I know the picture. It's this picture.
So
there you go.
Good. Yeah. Ben and Jerry's dairy-free 7-layer ice cream.
Very cool. What is your favorite flower?
I have a few, but I'd say probably my very favorite is the Bleeding Heart. I love those. I think they're so pretty, and they're just different.
Okay. I've never heard of those, so I will go check those out. And then what is your favorite season and why?
It's autumn. Perfect name as well, autumn. And it's beautiful and I love it. And my birthday is in the fall and it's just gorgeous. And I don't like the heat. So when the weather starts to transition into the colder weather, that's my favorite time of year.
Yep. Yeah, I happen to agree. It's favorite for me as well. Real quick sidebar for our viewers at home. Notice when I asked her about her favorite dessert, favorite flower, and favorite season, how she lit up. Because feminine energy, and you're definitely a feminine woman, but a feminine energy, they live so much in their emotion. And when they're thinking, they're feeling at the same time, which can be when they're in a storm, it can be a huge problem, but it can be certain questions can trigger really cool openings. And so it's something to be aware of. And for all the guys and dads out there that are watching, you need to be taking notes on your women, your daughters, your wives, the women that matter to you in life, your mother, that kind of stuff, your mother-in-law, But noting what are the things that light her up, what are the things that matter to her, because if you can surprise her throughout the year with those little things, you score points, and we all know points don't last, but that's okay. You score points, you light them up, and you create stronger emotional connections with them that can be very powerful and pay dividends. So, we went through, and Autumn and I put these questions together, and we both were kind of like, we need some fun stuff. And, flower season, I'm excited to see, what do people say? And here I've learned about a new flower. I'm going to go research. So, thank you for that. And then the last thing we want to do today is tell us about your latest project. I know you've got something with a timeline on it. So this video is going to be up forever, and we may not, your window may not be open, but that's okay. People can still go check out your website. We'll put it in the comments below, and I'll put a thing on the screen. But what's your latest project, and what could they do to get involved?
Absolutely. So right now I have, the registration is open for my newest class right now of the Live Inspired Now coach training. So I certify coaches so you can become a certified life coach. And you will learn emotional intelligence, personal development, human needs psychology, all of that amazing stuff that you need to really make your life amazing, but also to teach other people how to make it amazing too. So that's liveinspirednowcoaching.com. We only take 30 students because I provide full support and coaching to each student through the entire process, which is something you don't get in other programs. So I always keep it limited and keep it small so that we can have that, intimacy in the program. And it's been very, very successful. We have lawyers, we have tons of teachers, nurses, all sorts of amazing professionals, even other coaches that have gone through other trainings have joined this training because of the level of support that they get. And it just helps to make them feel a little more secure in their own practice as they're starting out. So that's what I've got going on.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cough. Let me bring that back. Hold on. This one. Hey, there we go. Yeah. Okay. So we will put the link below. And if they don't make the window, what should they do next? Should they just buy a copy of your book and stalk you online?
Sure, that'd be great. They can buy my book. It's called Live Inspired Now. I am on every social media that you can imagine, including Snapchat, but definitely follow me on Facebook. That's my primary source of social media. And you can always go to my website, liveinspirednow.com or liveinspirednowcoaching.com, because the course will open twice a year. So Right now we have 1 week left. This is the last week for registration for this phase, but we will open again at the end of this year.
Okay, very cool. Well, Heather, thank you for your time, and we definitely enjoyed chatting with you. Any parting thoughts? We've got about 1 minute.
I'm just really excited that you asked me to do this, and now I want to talk longer. This is so fun.
It is. Well, we'll get some feedback on this and maybe do like another section later in the year. Like as we go back to school, talk about some back to school strategies so we can offline some further conversations.
Yeah, I would love to have a conversation about the masculine energy and the feminine essence and stuff like that. I actually have a little teeny weeny bit of a different take on it. I think that it's more of a response that you can have to your partner versus like an energy that you possess at all times. So I don't know, just playing. And again, it's probably just semantics, but I've thought a lot about that and why is there such a discrepancy in the energy fields like that? And so,
well, the way we look at it, everybody has access to both.
Right, exactly.
You have kind of what's in your core, and then what are you reinforced with, and then what gets you results in your environment. So there's like different layers that influence how you show up and what you allow yourself to have access to.
Yeah, I love how you explain that. That's really good. And so I have a lot of people that come to me and say, I'm not being in my feminine, and they're all freaked out or whatever. And it's not necessarily about that. That's too like surface.
Yeah. You might not be that feminine. It's okay. Autumn is able to move in her masculine and her feminine. And so sometimes I need her to be in a triangle and to focus and drive. And sometimes she needs that from me. And sometimes, she's too narrow in, and I'm like expanding and getting her to laugh and stop and take a break and like look at the flowers. And, but for both of us, having somebody who is pure core on one side or the other and only ever would drive us up the wall, because we need that flow and that blend, because that's who we are.
Exactly. And Thad and I are the same way. Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much to you and to Autumn for having me on. This is such a fun thing.
Absolutely. Well, you make it a fantastic rest of the week, and I'll send you the link when this thing's live, and we're good.
Sounds great. Yay. Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Absolutely. Bye-bye.
Take care.
See ya. All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, thank you for tuning in today. It has been a very interesting conversation with Heather. We look forward to expanding some things. If you have some questions you'd like us to ask, please put those in the comments down below. We'll add them to our list. Right now, about 7 questions. If we want to add some more, that's cool. We'd love to have the feedback. And if you think you know someone who would be good for a Mompreneur Mondays, please reach out with a message, leave it in the comments below, and make sure you subscribe, hit the notifications so you know what's going on. We'll see you guys next time. You make it an outstanding day. Oh, and for those of you who are curious, Autumn's actually working on another project. So that's where she is right now. Secrets. Bye, guys.